Hi, I'm Marie Mushing, and you're watching PICTALK TV, live from Hamilton. Well, we got a great show lined up for you today. We have three wonderful guests in the studio. We have Christopher Grace from Life Changes. We have Lisa Colbert from Vital Spark Personal and Professional Development Coaching. And we have Sylvia Shackleton from Orthotics2Go. So we're going to have some great information shared with you in just a couple of minutes. First, we're just going to review some of the great events that are upcoming in the next couple of weeks. This Tuesday, August the 27th, we have the Women Who Excel evening dinner event, and that's out in Burlington at the Golden Griddle Restaurant. Thursday, August the 30th, is Breakfast with Fran. That's 8 a.m. at the Bedrock Bistro in Hamilton. Tuesday, September the 4th, we have the People in Connection Business Network in Burlington. That's 8 a.m. at the Holiday Inn. Wednesday, September the 5th, in Niagara Falls is the People in Connection Lunchtime event, and that starts at 11:30. Tuesday, September 11th, is again Women Who Excel. That's a morning network event, 8 a.m. at the Golden Griddle. And Thursday, September 13th, is a gourmet dinner demonstration, and that's at the Downtown Market Kitchen in Hamilton. You can find out most of these events actually through our peopleinconnection.net website, or look them up. A lot of them are listed on Google, or some of the other, just check them out. You can find their own websites. So my first guest today is Sylvia Shackleton from Orthotics2Go.
Hi, Marie.
Good morning, Sylvia. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
And you look fabulous.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, Sylvia custom fabricates custom molded orthotics for her clients. And now this is to help not only their feet feel better, but this also helps their entire body feel better. So now this is great. You've been doing this for a long, long time.
Yes, Marie, I started out as a nurse.
Yes.
I became a chiropractor, a naturopath, kinesiologist. I was always looking for the underlying cause of people's aches and pains and how to get rid of them by actually going to the cause.
Mm-hmm.
So I came to Hamilton in 2002, and I've been here ever since. And the big difference between the orthotics that I make and what other places make is they take your flattened out, broken down foot, they push it into a mold, and they use that mold to make the orthotic.
But that's the problem already, isn't it?
That is the problem already.
Yeah, is that your foot is already broken down. So,
it's too flat.
Right.
So there's three key muscles that go down the leg into the foot that actually hold the arch up when they're working. So I turn those muscles back on, get them working, realign the foot so it has an arch. Then we take the orthotic and we mold it up into the bony arch so that it follows the correct outline of the foot, much like this.
Right.
This is one that's been worn, and you can see heel straight, weight transfer, and push off. So when your foot is flat, the problem is that the ankle rotates in, the knee rotates in, the hip rotates out, destabilizes the pelvis, and that shuts off three key muscles, the abs, the glutes, and the quads. Other muscles become too tight and pull the diaphragm open, allowing the stomach to get up in the chest cavity. That causes a whole host of other problems like acid reflux, indigestion, heartburn, hiatus hernia, even puts pressure on the heart and contributes to heart attacks. When we do these corrections, 8 out of 10 people are immediately symptom-free.
Wow.
The other 2 out of 10 may take a week or two or even a month or two if it's really chronic.
Right.
But we do get them better.
Excellent.
And what I do now is I practice health.
Yes. Well, and this is so true. And that's, the thing, we find in so many different cases is that when people go to a chiropractor, that it's just masking the problem to begin with.
Yes.
So
it's symptomatic treatment, Marie.
Yes.
It isn't going to the cause, it's just managing symptoms. And what we want to do is go to the cause and eradicate the cause permanently and effortlessly, because this is pain-free.
Well, yeah, and that's great, and that's, of course, and without medications, lots of medications that other people think that is, again, it's just masking the problem. Now, you were talking about a couple of the things that, having the orthotics can help. So what would be some of the major health issues people would come to you with?
Foot pain,
Yeah.
leg pain,
Mm-hmm.
knee pain, hip pain, back pain, herniated discs.
Mm-hmm.
We can get herniated discs pain-free in 3 days, sometimes in a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to the cause, so we're not treating the symptom over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So by going to the cause, you can breathe deeper, you can have more function as far as concentration, attention span, memory.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you have to drink pure water and eat raw food and treat your body with respect.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do that, you can live long and happy. What I want to show people is how to be happy and healthy for the rest of their life.
Of course, of course. So what happens when someone comes to your office? What's the process you take them through?
First, we have them fill out a little questionnaire.
Mm-hmm.
It's very brief, doesn't take long. Then I show them exactly what I do, how I do it, why I do it, and I demonstrate on them so they can feel the muscles that are weak and turned off,
Mm-hmm.
and the muscles that are too tight are obviously painful. So one thing that directs people in the wrong way is wherever they feel the pain or the tightness, that is not where the cause is. It's otherwhere in the body that there's a weak muscle that's
Mm-hmm.
allowing the other one to be too tight and causing the pain there. So there's a tendency to treat the symptom instead of going to the cause.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, what are, you were saying about changes happening
Yes.
once they're fit and they're feeling better all of a sudden. Now, what are some of the most dramatic changes that you've seen?
Well, I had a lady who came to me in a wheelchair, and she couldn't get out of the wheelchair because she had excruciating knee pain. After I fitted her with orthotics, she could get out of the wheelchair and walk because the knee pain was massively reduced. I've been able to take people off walkers that are bent over at 90
Mm-hmm.
degrees over the walker.
Mm-hmm.
But people who have excruciatingly painful plantar fasciitis,
Yes.
we're going to the cause of that, removing the cause so they can walk pain-free. But the big thing is people feel so much more energy
Yes.
in their body when they walk on this
Mhm.
because they're gaining energy with every step
Yes.
instead of it bleeding away out of their body.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's perfect. So, how do people contact you if they want to book an assessment with you?
They can call me at my phone number, 905-528-2218, or they can send me an email, Syldoc, SYLDOC @gmail.com.
Okay.
And
Now you're in West Hamilton. Right?
I'm in West Hamilton.
Okay.
I'm
Mhm.
on the edge of Westdale.
Yes. Mhm.
And I'm right at King and the 403. It's
Okay.
really easy
Yeah.
to get to.
Perfect access right from the highway for people.
And everybody
Yeah.
is welcome to come for a
Yeah.
complimentary, which is free,
Yes.
consultation, demonstration,
Yeah.
and evaluation.
Yeah. And having been to Sylvia myself, I can tell you it's worth every minute that you will spend with her to go to the office and find out how she can change your life and how she can help you to become pain-free.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming into the studio today.
Appreciate it.
Now you can contact Sylvia Shackleton, as I say, through the phone number on the screen there that she gave you, or Orthotics2Go.com is her website. So go by and check that out. So my next guest this morning is Christopher Grace from Life Change.
Hi, Marie.
Good morning,
Thank
Chris.
you very much for inviting me down.
Oh, you're welcome. It's great to have you on the show today.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful morning. A little bit rainy, but still.
Hey, we need that rain.
We need that.
Yes.
We need that.
Now, Krista and his wife Sylvina, they run Life Change, and which is a marriage of two different things, actually, career and social work.
Absolutely.
And you put
absolutely.
those two a little bit together.
Yes.
So I think this is great. So now you've just opened your business this year, correct?
That is correct.
Mhm.
We just opened up our doors in January of this year,
Yeah.
and so far it's been a really strong turnout. We've had a lot of people that have come by and,
Yeah.
and shown a lot of interest. really just to, a lot of people ask the question, what is a career consultant, and
Yes.
how does life change actually
Mhm.
help individuals? And the best way to explain it is that life change is a marriage of career consulting and social work services. We look at life in terms of how work life affects home life, and
Of
how
course.
home life affects work life.
Mhm.
And because you're dealing with both sides of the coin when you're going through several different challenges, you need the assistance of both sides. So that's why we looked at the opportunity, and we said to ourselves, there really is a lack of service in terms of helping individuals deal with both sides, whether it's be on the family side or the career consulting side. So that's the reason why we created Life Change.
Oh, okay, fabulous. And you say they work together.
Absolutely. They work
perfectly
hand in
together.
hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very natural blend.
It is a natural blend. How'd you get started in this?
I have a very diverse background,
Yeah.
and I've done several different jobs over the course of the last 30 years. And as a result of my last layoff, which happened about 2 years ago,
Mhm.
I sat down with a career consultant, and it was just interesting that as we went through the different stages, I really enjoyed how the career consultant was able to make me feel comfortable and really help me explore different options. It got to the point where I said to myself, my goodness, like, how can I do what you do? Because I really want to help people. I really want to give back to the community. And she started laughing and actually smiling. She says, well, according to your resume, she says, you're a perfect candidate for a career consultant. So that's what I became, and it's been going sky high ever since. It's just been one wonderful event after another.
No, that's great. So now you help people looking to gain employment,
Mhm.
of course. Now, in this day and age, of course, this is hugely competitive.
Huge.
And so how can people prepare themselves, for an interview so that they have that little bit of a leading edge on getting themselves the job they're looking for?
You know what, Marie, that's a really good question, and it's finding that differentiating factor between yourself and everyone else. It's looking at your current skill set and discover which skill sets are actually transferable, that you can actually use in new opportunities. One of the key things that I always focus with my clients is when we sit down and we talk, we really talk about themselves. What's really important to you? What gets you going? What makes you wake up in the morning and say, I can't wait to start doing this. I can't wait to make a change. I can't wait to get myself involved. And it's through those questions, and it's through those series of discoveries that we start finding what your true key strengths are. Using those strengths, we build opportunities within our current environment to find out that, in fact, yes, like you always wanted to become a firefighter, so why not, get involved? And the more interest you start to develop, the more excited you get, the more investigation you want to do, and it really reflects on your resume. So now you've gotten all this information, you're able to really take your transferable skills, match them to the requirements of the job that you're going after. It makes your resume look fantastic, it makes your cover letter look fantastic, and it really does prepare you for the interview.
Okay, so what is one of the most important question that's going to be asked to that person when they go into that interview?
The very, very first question that's always going to be asked, believe it or not, is tell me about yourself.
Yes.
And believe it or not, the next 30 seconds that you have will determine whether or not you are a fit for the job or not. So that's why I always sit down with my clients and we really work on elevator speeches. We work on how can you deliver yourself and your self-worth within 30 seconds or less. I mean, it's really all about, establishing yourself and really presenting yourself as a commercial.
Well, yeah.
So get out there, make a difference. Show that you're different from everybody else. Show the reason why that you want to get this job. And usually, employers, believe it or not, they love stories. They love to sit down, they love to relax and just listen to one positive story after another, and it's usually through these positive stories that eventually the employer will turn around and say, you know what, you are the fit for the job.
Yes.
And I'd like to propose an offer of employment to you. So that's one of the key things. So, tell me about yourself, really work on that question in terms of how you describe yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And without taking up too much of the employer's time. Because,
absolutely.
I do find what happens in some cases, they'll say, tell me about yourself, and they launch into a 15-minute story about themselves.
Keep it to the point and really focus on how your skills are transferable or how your skills can be a benefit to the job that you're applying for.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now, of course, before anybody can get into the interview, and we're just briefly touched on the resume, what do you think catches their attention in that pile? They got this pile of resumes. There's 100 of them on their desk that they've narrowed it down to.
Yes.
And what's going to get them to that next step? What's going to get them to that interview?
The key things to really focus on when you're building your resume, and this is a standard mistake that a lot of individuals make, is they think that one resume fits all jobs. You really have to treat each resume as though you're applying for this job for the first time. You really have to look at, how can I make an impact? How can I make a difference? Use the buzzwords. Look at the job description, see how the job description fits into your current lifestyle, into your current skill set. Mold that into the resume. Make the resume, more attractive. Also, very important, most employers and most agencies have less than 15 seconds per resume.
Right.
To really see whether or not you're a fit for the job. So it's really key that you keep your resume as short as possible, but really driving the message home in terms of pulling out those buzzwords, really getting the message across, saying, you know what, these are the 3 key things that really make me different from everybody else. You need to call me in for an interview. And don't be afraid to ask for the interview. That's what I always say.
Oh, definitely. Now, I'm just going to touch real quickly on this, because I think this is really important too, is how important is social media to a person getting a job? Huge.
In this day and age, because social media is such a growing, you're looking at LinkedIn, for example.
Oh yeah, lots of career opportunities.
Lots of career opportunities out there, and so really how you position yourself on LinkedIn is very, very important. How you position yourself on Twitter is very, very important. How you position yourself on Facebook is very important. However, I do offer a series of cautions with respect to Facebook, because it is social media. It is about your personal self. I would really encourage individuals to look at more so environments where it's more centric around the employment environment, where it's more centric around professionals. Facebook is more of your friends, your family, your get-togethers, your acquaintances, whereas LinkedIn is more geared towards your professionals and those that share the same type of job experiences.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just going to bring up a note too, where you're talking that Facebook really is your personal life, and not as important as the other two for an employee from that perspective of finding a job. But I also know employers look at Facebook.
Absolutely.
And you see some people that go onto Facebook, I hate my job, I hate my job, I hate my job. Well, unfortunately, those are the ones that are going to have a very difficult time getting the next job, if that's what they're posting, right?
And believe it or not, it's the quickest way for an employer to make a decision. If they have to downsize, they will actually do research into your Facebook page, and if they find out that you actually hate your job, well, guess what? You're the next person on the list for the exit door.
For the exit door,
absolutely. So
not quite the fit you used to be at one point.
Yeah, definitely work at cleaning up your image, on the media. So excellent connection on that.
Okay. Now, what about events? Do you hold any seminars or anything?
Absolutely. Both Sal and I are really geared up towards our Fall Focus program. We've got a huge lineup of different programs. We are offering free information seminars and free career seminars that are going to be starting on a monthly basis in late September, early October. The first one's called Get Your Life on Careers, which really focuses on careers. We're going to be inviting individuals from different works of life to really sit down and in a more of an intimate atmosphere, really talk about what got them into the business, what got them into the job, what kind of education they had to go through, and what have been their benefits as a result of it. Now that's Get Your Life on Careers, so we're doing that once a month. The other one that we're also doing is called Get Your Life on Info Night, and there we just talk about different community events, or we pick up different pieces of information or different topics and stories that really affect the community around us, and we'll have different guest speakers come in and actually do presentations. Sal's really strong in the social work field, so she's been doing a lot of work on separation and divorce. So we have separation and divorce for kids, separation and divorce for parents. We have building your self-esteem. We have anger management programs. Myself, I have the Job Foundations program, which is a 5-week program in terms of helping individuals, build the 5 pillars of a successful job search strategy. And really the list goes on. So I really invite a lot of people to actually come down to the website,
definitely.
And we do have a new website that's coming out in September, so I'm so excited about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's great news too. So how can people contact you?
Well, various ways. We are actually on Facebook, so definitely Facebook / Life Change. We follow us on Twitter at Get Your Life On, and definitely our website, which is www.getyourlifeon.ca. We are located right here on the mountain brow, right beside the Jervinsky Hospital, so 755 Concession Street, Suite 100. So feel free to drop in at any time. And phone numbers 905-531-8558 and 905-385-2012. All right.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming into the studio
Thank you
today,
very much.
Chris.
All the best.
So, go to getyourlifeon.ca, and we'll post all these websites and everything after the show on PICTALKTV.com so that you can actually look up that information as well. So my next guest today is Lisa Colbert, and Lisa is Vital Speak Personal and Professional Development Coaching. Welcome,
morning,
Lisa.
Melanie. Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
That's great. Now, when I was reading along with your application for the show today, I realized you have a lot of life changes that you have gone through over the last few years yourself. Tell me a little bit about your journey and what's led you to this point.
Well, right from a young adult, I always I wished for my life to be more exciting, not knowing exactly what I was asking for. So at 18, I lost my dad, and that seemed to be the first of many, many challenges that I've gone through, and I've been through many transitions, and I've just found that as I've grown and been reflective, I've learned lots from all of those challenges, and I've learned to be very positive and take that learning to build momentum in my life.
Yes. Okay, now you have a little poem that you've written, and it's called If Everyone, that you use when you're speaking to your audiences. And tell me a little bit about this poem.
Well, when you visit my website, the first thing you'll encounter is the If Everyone poem. And it's just a way that I would like to share with the world attitudes and values that you can build within yourself in order to help those around you see life a little bit differently. And I'm hoping the more people that read the poem and maybe reflect within themselves will now make changes that will ultimately change the world.
And that would be a wonderful thing.
It would be.
Yes,
It would be.
it would be. And and all change does start within, doesn't it?
It's very true. It's very true. We have many limiting beliefs that come from all the different places in our lives, and especially people today that are inundated with information. And sometimes those beliefs aren't necessarily true. And as we learn about ourselves and about the world, we have the ability to change those beliefs and ultimately take back our power and learn to be better people and ultimately find our ideal lives.
And as you say, through your experiences, your beliefs change.
It's very true.
Through things that happen, and not always for the better, which is because the role where you come in. So what happens when someone comes to you for a personal coaching process, as a session, what's the process? What happens?
I try to be very individualized. I have clients that have come to me that know they want an ideal life, but they have no idea what that looks like. And then there's clients that come and have a great visual of what their ideal life is. Some people are very self-aware and see the beliefs that are limiting them, where others are not aware of the things that they're thinking and the messages they're giving themselves that are holding them back. So I try to just help them be reflective and give them the support. Chris was talking about telling stories.
Yes.
And I really enjoy listening to the stories of others and sharing my own stories, hoping that that's going to bring about a thought process that, ultimately I can back up with the science of how our brain works and how our belief systems work, and teach people how to make the changes to make their lives better and ideally meet the goals that they have for themselves that maybe they haven't been able to achieve.
Now, is coaching an ongoing service? Do you feel people should have this in something in their lives ongoing?
Well, just thinking about watching the recent Olympics, you hear the athletes talking about how integral coaching has been to their success.
Yes.
And that support has been very important to them. Well, life is no different.
Yes.
And we all look at self-help websites, we read that inspiring book, and we get motivated, but it falls off.
Right.
So I feel that coaching is just something that gives you that little bit of accountability and the support that maybe you need when a transition is very difficult.
Yes.
And it's just your rah-rah to make you meet those goals and those things that you may get there, but maybe you'll get there faster with someone's support.
Yeah, exactly. Now, besides the one-on-one coaching, you also speak to audiences, correct?
That's right.
Yes. What are some of the different topics that you would speak on?
I try to put in some humor and some laughter and how important play is to our lives, and just stepping back and taking ourselves more lightly, and simplicity. Simplicity is so important. I think we tend to complicate our own lives and look at things in a way that if we simplified and just stepped out a little bit, we would be much happier and much more fulfilled.
Yeah. Well, that's fabulous. So how can people contact you?
I have a website. It is vital-spark.ca. All the information is there. I offer services via email, Skype, and in person, also over the telephone. The number to reach me is 905-518-3257. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. So ultimately, going to my website will get you to all those wonderful things.
That's wonderful. And you do you have some big changes again coming up in your life in the very near future as well?
I do. My daughters and I are moving to British Columbia. It's been a dream that I have a 21-year-old, and she and I have family there, and we've visited a few times. My 8-year-old's coming along, and hopefully it will become her dream as well.
Yes.
But so we're
beautiful.
Getting on a plane, and myself, I'm getting on a train, and we're all gonna just have a terrific adventure and see where we land and where it takes us.
Which makes it great that you will do the Skype appointments with people, because then you can help people everywhere.
Yes, Hamilton is very near and dear to my heart. I think we have a very unique city.
Yes, you've done a lot of things in the city over the years, so
I want to keep my connections here, and I hope to make new connections via the technology that we have available to us.
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming to the studio
Marie.
today, Lisa.
Thanks.
So check out our website, vital-spark.ca. Now, I do have a fourth guest this morning. I wasn't sure if she was going to make it, but my fourth guest today is Erin Davis, and Erin runs the Ancaster Discovery Garden. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning.
I'm glad you could make it this morning. That's okay, not a problem. And how are you on this lovely day? And then the rain is raining down on your garden.
I'm so happy. The flowers are very, very happy.
Yes?
That's why I was late. I was out this morning, and I thought, I had a bit
Beautiful.
of produce to pick.
She's got her lovely produce here with her today. Oh, this is fabulous.
That's a little bit of all what was
Try to make sure the sunflowers aren't covering up your little smiling face over here.
Oh, no. Okay.
Here, we'll put the sunflowers on the other side. Here.
Oh, okay.
It's okay if they cover mine. Oh, jeez. Now, Erin, of course, Erin has only been in the Ancaster for a couple of years.
2 years.
And so, what happened? Like, you come into this new neighborhood, this new town of Ancaster in the city of Hamilton, and here you are now. And like 2 years later, you have this fabulous community garden. What was the spark?
Well, the spark is I am just really a giver. That's in every cell of my being. And I just saw a great opportunity where we have such wisdom in Ancaster, and we have a community there, but there's not that much of interaction. So I thought, what would happen if we could create a little garden and have that interaction? So luckily enough, I had this really strong thought. I was meditating on it, and I then saw a landowner right next to where I was having a coffee in coffee culture. And wow, he said yes, he would go for it, and he said, I'd give you this, about 2,000 square feet of land. And then I connected myself with a little girl in the area and her family, and so now it's about 30 volunteers, and it's a great opportunity for the people and the businesses, local businesses, to interact.
Yeah.
Because what I've done is a lot of donations.
Yes, you've had a lot of companies that have come on board with this. This has been wonderful.
Yeah, I've been very, very blessed with the the businesses coming on board, and so it just serendipitously has been working, and now I'm working with a youth minister who's got a lot of amazing students that have been helping out and volunteering, and it all works with the high school volunteer hours too.
Yeah.
For instance, next week, Labor Day Monday, we're having from 4 to 7 a little salsa and stir fry with all the produce of the garden. So we'll see how that goes out. It's $2 a plate, so that'll be good.
And one of the wonderful things is all this goes back to the community. All the money raised from the community gardens goes back into the community. Now, where does that money go?
Well, that's sort of why I was late, because I ended up, we were out there today harvesting a lot of tomatoes. It is tomato season.
It certainly is tomato season, yes.
Tomatoes of all sizes and shapes. And then we've got the peppers, and so this basket will go back to them.
Yes, we have some wonderful,
gorgeous
produce.
Yes,
wonderful peppers in here.
And we have these beans that we didn't even know we had.
Beans,
so we're so happy. And
some wonderful flowers. And you took up that whole 2,000 square feet of land.
Now it's a unique concept because it's not like any other community garden where everyone has their own plot.
Right.
This was really meant to engage the community. So our motto is planting seeds, engaging community, growing dreams. And so really what it is, and I was told it was not going to happen, that it was impossible, that the soil was considered infertile. Can you believe that? The soil is infertile. So anyhow, and these are experts telling me this stuff, right? So there was a lot of rocks that we had to move. So I said, well, what did the pioneers do? They just moved the rocks, and I saw a willow stump. I said, well, just throw it all over there. I forgot how heavy those rocks could be, but anyways, we did it. And then I said, well, we'll just have hens and chicks in the garden.
Yes.
And oh no, you can't have hens and chicks in the garden. And I knew what they were thinking, and I knew what I knew. There's a plant called hens and chicks.
Yes.
So I said to him, I just like to play him, and I said, I know you don't know who I am, but I will find a way to have hens and chicks in the garden. So then I thought, well, if I can have hens and chicks, what other kind of garden? So I thought of a beer garden.
Yeah.
So I have hops and barley. I threw in some rye. There's some rye there. And then I thought, well, what do you have when you have beer? You have nachos. So I have nachos represented. There's corn, there's tomatoes, onions, peppers, etc.
Right.
So all of a sudden, I now have 9 gardens, and then that's how we sort of was able to raise some money, because the hens and chicks, there's a local breakfast restaurant that is the sponsor.
Yes.
The beer garden, local pub.
Yep.
That's, We have a butterfly garden. That's where the sunflowers come from. Because the little girl that I connected with, she wanted flowers. So we've got this most beautiful butterfly garden that a hummingbird comes to. I think it's 1 hummingbird. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's 3 hummingbirds, but and then we have exactly. And then we have I don't know if I should say it on TV, but I will. We have a pot garden.
There you go.
Wink, wink. It's a bunch of collected garden pots with herbs.
Yes.
And so there's 9 fragrant herbs, so people can touch. And our latest garden we're super, super happy with is I sort of didn't listen to the packet on the seeds of squash. It says to plant 1 seed every 4 feet. Well, I decided to make a trough, and I opened it up, and I put the seeds down.
You have
so
a
we
lot
sort
of
of
squash.
Overgrew.
Yes.
So what we did was, and overgrew the path, because there's a walking path through it. So we created a 20-foot long, 6-foot high, arbor-like chicken wire tunnel. So it's now called our Gourds and Goblins Garden Tunnel. So it's a great experience. I've been pulling all the little flowers down, so the gourds and the squash and the pumpkin are hanging
underneath
from this.
in the tunnel.
Yes, in the tunnel.
This is going to be great Halloween feature.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
people are loving it. I've got
Yeah.
people in suits coming by.
Yeah.
We have about, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 15 people come through in a day, and some visitors have now become volunteers, which was what it was supposed to be like. And then you see them interacting, strangers that didn't know each other before.
Yeah,
so.
and that's so nice, and what a great way to bring the community together, doing something that's giving all back to the community at the same time. And it makes people feel good. You know.
Yes,
yeah.
And it's the local, we don't have a food bank, so it's called the Ancaster Community Services, and they then distribute it out to those that need.
Yeah. Yeah, so, exactly. Now you were talking about making salsa last week, and we're going to be posting some pictures onto the blog about the salsa. Now you guys raise money when you sell the vegetables and you make the salsa. Now that also goes into the food bank.
I'm doing the to try and be engaged in the community as much, and then everything goes back to the the local food bank. So that's what next week will be like. Yeah.
Okay. So how can people get involved? How can they volunteer or offer some sponsorship services?
Well, they can get a hold of us. We now have a website that's gone live, and it's AncastreDiscoveryGardens.ca, and they can also, we're on Facebook as well, so I believe that's Facebook / and then Ancaster Discovery Gardens. And then by phone, well, we have this blog, but I don't know anything about it yet.
Well, no, that's okay. As I say, they can find out that information on
the
website, all your contacts, and that's an email contact, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I believe that's AncastreDiscoveryGardens@gmail.com. Yes. Fabulous. Well, you know what? I actually have not made it out to the gardens yet. I've, of course, seen a lot of the pictures, and we've done a lot of talking about, how Erin's working so hard. I am so impressed with, every day I talk to her, and she's going, okay, I'm finished here. I'm on my way out to the garden. And you put in hours.
I do, and so do my volunteers. There's a lot of good volunteers that put in
a lot of work. Absolutely gorgeous garden. She's even over this course of this year come up with some great gardening tips. So maybe we can get those added to the blog.
Yes, that would be good.
Yeah,
because I didn't really realize how great those tips are until people are.
Yeah, I've been sharing them.
Oh, have you?
Great. Yes.
Because we have deer, we have raccoon, we have rabbits, we have squirrels, we have chipmunks, and I have we were able to harvest 59 cobs of corn, and I've got all my tomatoes and all my peppers and all my kale and all my Swiss chard and cabbage. They have not eaten them.
That's right. And actually, there was a quick, just before you go, I'm just going to tell that quick little story, because Erin did such a great job of her keeping her animals out of the gardens now. She was told that she would know her corn was ready when the raccoons came into the garden and started eating it. Well, she's done such a great job of keeping out the raccoons. They weren't coming into the garden, so she actually had to get some advice.
I did.
Somebody to come in and tell her when her corn was going to be ready, and it was.
It was ready.
And it was ready. So, definitely she's got some excellent tips that you're going to want to know about on the blog site.
That's true.
Thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Thank you.
So you can contact Erin about volunteering, about the gardens, or you can go out to Ancaster and check it out on Wilson Street. I believe it's 304, Erin? 304 Wilson?
406.
406, I was close. 406 Wilson Street in Ancaster. Go out, check out the gardens, sit down, pause a while, and enjoy the wonderful surroundings. And it's AncasterDiscoveryGarden.ca. Now, we'd love to have you on PICTALK TV as one of our guests. The show is open to all business owners, organizations, people in the community that actually just have something that they really want to share with the rest of us. Come on the website, PICTALKTV.com. Get in your application. We're booking right now we got a couple of spots left in September. We're booking it down the Niagara region. We're booking for Halton. We'll have Halton announced by the end of the day today. Actually, we're going to make that big announcement where we'll be in Halton for that show. So lots of things are going on. We're also very happy for show sponsors that are supportive of the small businesses in the community that would like to help us to support PICTALK TV. And our next show in Hamilton here is on September the 10th. And of course, we also do have our Live from Niagara show, and that is from Niagara on the Lake, and that is on August the 31st this month. I want to say a great big thank you to our sponsors, the Mountain Theatre, the Niagara on the Lake Community Center, Venting Creatively, and Dr. PC. My name is Marie Mushing. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.